Everyone says, don't come to Bourke. What did Gary the goat do? Gary the goat goated up.
Yeah.
And he come to Bourke. He was going to only stay an hour. He's been here 3 days.
Yeah.
He loves Bourke.
Victor, what do you do in town?
Better question is what I don't do.
What don't you do?
I don't do what my missus tells me.
Oh, mate. Fucking true rebel, mate. What is she dead?
To start from the top, I'll say, okay, I'm a councillor in the Berkshire, president of the Bourke Bowling Club, I'm the president of the RSL sub-branch, legatee for Legacy, I do Meals on Wheels, volunteer driving. My mum's 3rd generation Scottish, my dad's blackfellow from Dubbo, Widgery tribe.
You've fucking got it all signed up every angle.
I'm what they call, what's the word I can't...
You pull the strings from behind the scenes, don't
Well,
you?
this is true too. Like, sometimes, you know, you see this bloke, his head nodding,
Yeah.
well, I'm behind him.
You've got your hand firmly up his arse, hey?
Well, a bit higher. I used to use 10 fingers instead of one.
So you're a backyard proctologist.
Oh, mate, am I what? As I said, like, you know...
Back before you needed qualifications, hey?
Back before they even invented Vaseline. A very famous, well-known Australian poet, Henry Lawson.
Yep.
He once quoted, "You haven't seen Australia unless you've been to Bourke."
And Gary has seen Australia. He's been 4 times around and he's just come to Bourke, so now he's seen Australia.
Many years ago,
Yeah.
I used to work at the abattoirs, and I always felt a little bit out, but suddenly they gave me a nickname.
And what was that?
And the nickname was Spanner.
And why'd they call you Spanner?
And I was very impressed. I was initiated, I was a part of the team, and one day I asked what Spanner meant, and they said every time you walk by you tighten our nuts.
Oh, that's
How good was that,
I didn't
Jimbo?
feel too...
That's fucking beautiful. I'll tell you what. You know what you should have called them back?
What?
Yeah, fucking, I'm going to call you guys fucking the Darling River. Because fucking each time I walk past you guys, I dry up.
You're hopeless.
If you want to promote Bourke, you know how each town's got a phrase? Yeah. For, you know, I reckon come to Bourke and get your nuts tightened by Spanner.
Exactly.
You just have a picture of her right there. Yeah, no, seriously, you've still got nice hooters as well, Spanner. You could tighten Gary's nuts and he hasn't even got any. And that's what Spanner loves, right? She doesn't only love the nuts tight, but she fucking loves the fucking tools hard. You know what you are, Spanner? You're a gilf. You're a grandmother I'd love to fuck. And Bob, you are a fucking lucky bloke, mate. You have been throwing it up, the hottest chick in Bourke. She is so hot. No, when she dies, you'd dig her up and root her. She'd still be valuable.
Bob was the local policeman here for 40 years. So
Yep.
we've got rid of Bob.
Yeah.
And we've got the girls in.
Yeah.
So who would you rather be locked up with, him or the girls?
What was your name?
My name's Hannah.
Oh, Hannah, we've got a...
There's the local police.
Really? You're the local coppa, hey?
Yeah.
No wonder there's so many breaking enters here. It's just to meet you, isn't it?
There's some you might want to get handcuffed, but some you chew your arm off if you've got your hand. Yeah,
anyway, fellas, I pissed into a glass in Bourke, right? I was telling a doctor about urine therapy. We're out here with Heather, the local GP in Bourke, all the way from Scotland. Urine is sterile, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So you know that if you drink urine, that you're not going to get sick of it. Yeah.
No, of course you don't.
Yeah. Just see if I can. Okay. You couldn't see me cock or anything, right?
Oh no, have a look at this.
No, this is fresh from the tap. A lot of people think it's waste product. As you know, Heather, waste products go out of your lungs, they go out of your skin, and they go out of your liver. But this comes out of your kidney. It's excess good stuff. It's not waste stuff, right? And the thing is...
Concentrated goodness.
Yeah, it's concentrated goodness.
Golden
It
goodness.
is
Does it come up as quickly?
Oh,
That glass is going in the bin too, ever.
nothing worse than what Bear Grylls does, right?
It may seem disgusting, but your own urine is safe to drink.
Anyway, this copper has been going with me for a year trying to get me... Just got an email from Michael Hill from the Bourke Police who says that I am attempting to offer you the chance to participate in an interview in relation to an allegation you expose your penis and consume urine in front of several patrons at Diggers on Darling. This is considered to be offensive behaviour. You may also supply a statement if you wish. Please get back. And he's eventually fucking charged me for willful and obscene exposure, right? Anyway, so they've got a police warrant out for me for this, right? I'm going, oh, fuck, you know. fucking here we go again. Right? So the garrote copper, he's fucking put into his system my number plate, and it's come up that I'm a sex offender, right, from New South Wales. That's all he's known. So the poor cunt had to get back up and come down to the caravan park to find this sex offender, right? And he's come right into the caravan park and around the corner, and fucking there I am lying in the back of me truck cuddling Gary the goat. So, fucking, all things considered, they were pretty cool cops, you know what I mean? I mean, you don't expect to deal with that shit every day, hey? They're going, fuck, what type of a sex offender is this guy? Mate, it's, you're coming after the police warrant, eh? Yeah. Well, mate, here I am, yeah.
Jump in.
So, yeah, no worries. Cool. Mate, what about me goat?
Yeah, well, we'll get back to the office. We'll start making phone calls.
Yeah.
And if we're going to send you back to New South Wales, we'll get the ranger to come up and grab the goat. Okay, well, can I just tie him up? Yeah, yeah. Alright, Gary, you just stay there, mate. Right, I can get the cops off. Apparently I'm a fucking sex offender. Don't worry, mate, I'm the one in trouble this time. And mate, just stay away from the roses over there. I'm in enough trouble as it is. Anyway, so this cleared it up that I don't have to be extradited. Thanks for being so cool, guys. Yeah. Alright, Gary, we're back on the road. But I've got to go to New South Wales. And they've also got another charge in there, because I've been telling this copper, like, for a year, mate, how about you go out and catch a criminal, right, instead of trying to create one out of me, right? You know, you're from Bourke. It's the highest crime rate in Australia. Usual story, right? Most coppers are good, but you got a few who just wake up and go, I'm not going to catch anyone, I'm just going to walk around till I find someone I don't like and then work out how to fucking nail the cunt, right? So I've got one of them on me tail, which you got to expect going around Australia constantly, right? You're going to fucking come up against a few of them. So, yeah, and so he's basically, yeah, with Gary, so he's basically added an extra charge. He didn't like a joke I did about one of the coppers up there. I've handed in the evidence, right, on video. This is me pissing. It's nothing worse than Bear Grylls. And at the end of it, young copper, I just said, fuck, with coppers like that in town, you'd do a break and enter just to be handcuffed by it, right? Yeah. Which, as you guys know, following Gary, I've done worse jokes than that, hey? Gary, stop chatting me chick up, mate. She's mine. I'm just basically complimenting her and doing a fucking exaggerated scenario. It's a joke because I'm a comedian. That's my job. Anyway, this guy's basically going, oh yeah, he's giving me a criminal charge for offending harassment on the internet, right? And this chick wasn't even offended when I said it to her, right? Yeah, you're the local copper, hey? Yeah. No wonder there's so many breaking enters here. It's just to meet you, isn't it? What do they think? People are just going to start doing breaking enters just to get handcuffed. And it's on the internet, on YouTube, and there's one dislike on it. Okay, here is a video on Gary the Goat's YouTube channel, which the cops haven't taken down yet, and it's got the joke, which this cop, not her, but a boss, the copper who's just been going me for the last year, reckon is offensive enough to give me a criminal charge for. Anyway, if you can see down here, it's had about 2,000 views and 1 dislike. Right, well, I reckon he's been there going, oh, fuck, how can I nail this guy on some evidence? Oh, no, I'll press dislike. And he's going to take that to court. So, fucking what's going to happen is that I, a comedian, am going to be taken to court for taking the piss. Right, literally drinking my own piss and taking the piss as in saying a joke. If I get busted for making a joke, right, I'm a professional comedian. If I get busted for making a joke, what's it going to be fucking like for our kids? You know how parents are now going, oh, fucking kids, you know, watch out for meth and shit. Fucking our kids, right? We'll be going, oh, you're going out, fucking Billy, right? Oh, I know you're going to have a good time at the party and all that, but when you go to say a joke with your mates around the barbecue, make sure you get them to sign this indemnity form before you do the joke, right? You're just to be on the safe side. And little Billy's going to be going, oh, yeah, but Dad, it'll probably fuck up the timing of me gag a bit, right? Yeah, and the parents are just going to be going, no, son, fucking you got to be safe. And if that is the stage where you cannot make a joke in outback Australia, the world is seriously fucked. Like, I've already gone to court with Gary for unlawful destruction of vegetation because he was eating grass.
Gary the Goat was taken by police.
I walked through all towns with him. I thought, walk through Sydney, going back through Circular Quay, had to get some grass for him, and 4 cops come up and approach me, right? And they go, you fuck, you've done a whole lot of things wrong here. And I said, fuck, well, name one. And he goes, well, yeah, you know, it's not on a lead. And I pointed to the sign. I said, mate, it says there dogs need to be on a lead. It's a goat, mate. And he's going, you know, and then he's going, well, it's an out-of-control animal. And as you can see, I go, fucking look at him, mate. He's hardly out of control. I went up and gave him a pat, and he's going, and this guy wanted to get me, right? And he's going through his rule book, couldn't get anything, right? And then eventually he said, I'm going to get you. I'm going to fucking get you. I said, fuck, whatever, mate, right? And then he goes, go, right? And I go, well, you've got to put it on a lead. So, fucking right, I put it on a lead and just started walking. And he said, fucking hold the end of it, right? And, I said, mate, you just said put him on a lead. He didn't fucking say that. And then Gary doesn't go on a lead. I have him go lead, he gets fuck off, right? So I said, mate, he won't. He just follows me, right? And he goes, and so back then I could put him on my shoulder. He goes, you can't carry a goat round on your shoulder. And I said, well, mate, we've got a situation here. You're detaining me for no reason and not letting me go. What am I going to do? I've got to get across the Harbour Bridge. And I go, I've got an idea. How about you put us in the back of the paddy wagon, right? And the Daily Telegraph was down there beside me, and I just winked at him and said, you're going to get your shot now. So he rang up his boss and said, am I allowed to put a guy in a goat who I haven't charged in the back of a paddy wagon, right? And then he got permission, and then he put the phone down and he goes, fuck, I feel like I'm in a, you know, candid camera movie. And I said, mate, this might be funny for you, but for me it's serious, you're going to find me.
But in August last year, Gary's appetite landed him in trouble with the law after he was caught eating plants at Circular Quay. His owner, Jimbo, was made the scapegoat and today faced court accused of damaging vegetation. I said to him, mate, are you always the bad cop? And he goes, no, I'm normally the good cop. And I said, oh, right, so you're normally the good cop, but you're practising your bad cop routine on a guy with a goat who's done nothing wrong. What do you do when you meet a real criminal? Do you hide behind those guys, eh? So we've got a lift across the bridge and fucking it was all right, you know. And then a month later he sent me a fine in the mail for unlawful destruction of vegetation because he's eating grass, right? And I'm just going, fuck, mate, I'm a comedian. I can't write this shit. This is great, you know. Fucking I need some publicity. Fucking let's take this to court, brother. Anyway, my girlfriend, who I've known for years, I met her in Japan years ago when I was clowning over there. I used to clown back in '94, and I used to, I was a clown there. I remember, like, I was walking around this clown thing, and these little kids come out and going, what's your name? And I'm going, Jimbo. And they were all laughing. I found out later that Jimbo was the word for penis in Japan. So I'm walking around and going, yeah, g'day, I'm Penis the Clown, right? And I've known it for years, and I went over to India in between tours because you can just live in a hut and live off $2 a day, and you know it's not weird drinking your own piss over there, right? And a couple of years ago, and I just said, look, we've known each other for ages, both nomads. I said, look, how about I fucking throw one up, yeah? And if you get pregnant, and if not, no worries, right? Anyway, she's got pregnant, you know, and you know, so we're having a kid, and you know, admittedly she was rooting 3 other blokes at the same time. But you know, I'm going to look after that kid like it's a quarter of mine. And, man, now you can walk. I reckon it's about time you got fit as well, eh? You and Gary. Yeah. That's it. Got to keep up with Gary and Dad. Only 2 more kilometres to go. Keep going. Maya, we'll meet you back at the truck, okay? You reckon she's lost? Anyway, she's in the drop zone fucking a few weeks before the court case, right? So I'm going, fuck, I've got to get out of this court case. So I've written a letter to the Rocks cops going, Lex, just don't go to court over this. It's going to be a joke for you guys. But anyway, it's gone viral, the letter. And then they've come back and said to the press, no, the truth's going to come out in court. Gary destroyed a whole flower bed. Fucking this cunt's fucking off, right? I'm thinking he didn't do that, he was just eating grass. And they go, nah, the truth's going to come out in court, so I had to go to court. Everyone
Everyone puts on their best gear for court, even Gary the goat.
I got this hat off my mate Twisty in Kalgoorlie. This could be the difference between 5 and 10 years in jail.
Right, and they've given me
The police brief of evidence was hundreds of pages long.
a 250-page brief of evidence before about his destroying shit, which he didn't do. It was all bullshit. Can't rock up to court, they've got nothing, right? It was all bluff, right? They're subpoenaed and they're not there and fucking nothing, right? And then the judge, all they could say was Gary's eating grass and 2 leaves off a bush, right? Now, and I thought the judge would go, get fucked. And then the judge goes, okay, we've established he's eating fucking vegetation, right? And I've gone, no way. And then we've had the debate for an hour, right? I go, well, why am I getting fined, right? Gary ate it. He's outside the court and you won't even let him in. You're fucking finding me, right?
As Gary waited patiently outside.
So there we had that. Technically, the fucking their lawyers got into discussion of whether I was liable for it if I had put Gary up for this crime. So we're debating in court whether I had a conversation with Gary before I went to the fucking park and said, Gary, I want you to go down and eat that specific leaf off that bush.
According to the law, this is not an offence. Gary's just jumping out of the car and he's just going to go and eat something. Now, Gary is deciding what he's going to eat. So that means it's not an offence. But according to the law, this is illegal. Gary, see that bush? I want you to eat it. No, that's it, that's it, that's it. Yeah. Now that, according to the law, is illegal because I fucking told him to do it and he did it. It's unlawful destruction of vegetation, which I can get fined $440 for.
Hey mate, that's against the law for Gary to be eating grass.
No mate, when he got out of the truck, I didn't tell him to eat that particular bit of grass. I told him to eat that particular bit of grass. Those ones are okay.
Yeah, we'll fucking see about that in court, mate.
And this is going for an hour, I'm looking around going, fuck, you cunts get paid $500 an hour and you're talking this shit, you know. Anyway, the judge finally went
threw the case out, saying the person has no control over what it is the goat might eat. He might have preferred an ice cream.
I think the judge was just waiting to put a gag in.
He probably prefers cigarette butts.
And then we're trying to sting the cops for costs, right?
It's cost the taxpayers and a lot of other people a waste of time and money.
And then the judge goes, nah, you can't because you got let off on a technicality. So the message from the judge is if you want to get out of silly fines, you've got to hire a lawyer and spend 3 months getting out of a $400 fine, but you won't get cost, right? So I've gone out, right, but fuck it, I've got a bit of publicity. I left Gary out there with a hat and there's a whole press there. And, you know, I've come out like some cunt who's just got off a murder charge, you know.
Was justified because he allowed his pet.
You've got O.J. Simpson on me.
Gary's name has been cleared of all this slander.
I was sitting here wearing my I fuck the goat shirt out. Just winking and going, you wait till the next case.
It's obviously a joke, but the fact that we're here, it's gone a bit beyond a joke.
And I've just said, look, Gary the Goat's taught the Rocks copy of a valuable lesson today.
Not to bite off more than they can chew.
Anyway, it went round the world as the flower-eating goat.
Gary the goat was taken by police for eating flowers.
But he didn't fucking eat flowers, right? And I thought later, what if I was up on a fucking serious charge like rape or murder?
Or a sex crime.
And you got cops making up shit. That's fucked, isn't it?
Jimbo and Gary now plan to resume their comedy gigs, starting their routine with the one about the goat that went to court.
Australia. It's fucking bullshit. No, but seriously, guys, this has got to stop, hey? Like, this rules, regulations, taxes and everything is just squashing our culture, isn't it?
Right, no fun.
And it's no fun, you're dead right. And it's not from the outside, other people, it's internally. All this shit coming down on us, the rule of law.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
There's so many laws in Australia, any laws, regulations, that are just an abuse of common sense. And in this is actually an abuse of the laws of nature.
A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle,
There was a goat eating grass.
governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
You coming after the police warrant, eh? Yeah. Well, mate, here I am. Yeah.
Jump in.
And we're too busy and fucking whatever to stand up to it. But if we don't, that's what Ned Kelly and Eureka Stockade was all about, eh? Standing up to this, right? I don't think we should go out all guns blazing, but we've got to at least get a haircut and go to court and keep fighting this shit, eh? And maybe just do something on a political level, going, fucking Malcolm Turnbull and Bill Shorten aren't going to fucking solve this issue. It's just going to, our culture is just going to end up a whole lot of people who just lose all our jobs because we're going to sell everything overseas, and we're just going to realise we're getting butt fucked and we're not even getting paid for it.
We'll have no fun. Have no fun. Start up our own businesses.
You'll start up your own businesses. Fucking good luck, mate. Yeah. Fucking, yeah. Fucking, yeah, all the rules and regulations come down on you, and then you think, well, fuck it, I can't do it, so I've got to go and fucking work for Woolies or one of these big companies that are fucking screwing us over. Yeah, the politics is bullshit, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're out here farming, like they're whinging about we're trimming up trees, you know, instead of fucking snapping them off. Yeah, they're telling us we've got to cut them nicely with a chainsaw. Takes more OH&S restrictions to get up the fucking tree and cut it, you know.
So they're telling you you've got to cut it properly with a chain. They're telling you how to do the cut, rather than just fucking take the branch off.
We just get a loader and pull her off.
Yeah.
Which just snaps off clean anyway.
Yeah.
And they're telling us we've got to cut, trim them up, you know.
But
for what fucking reason? What's that going to do in 30 years' time?
Well,
it's going to be no different.
What's happening is common sense has gone out the window, right? To the point where Australians don't actually understand. It doesn't make sense to us.
People are just like, they've just got dollars in their eyes and fucking ranting and raving about environmental things.
Gary, stop eating the tree, mate. That's unlawful destruction of vegetation. You got to use a chainsaw. We all know it. We're all talking about it, hey. People of all ages around their barbecues and everything are basically going, but we've got to do something about it, don't we? And there's no politician on the horizon who's even fucking, they're under the thumb as well.
That's half the problem. Like, no one knows who's running the show in there.
Well, who's running the show? The central banks. We borrow money off these central banks, and any country that doesn't borrow money off them, they get bombed. Like Libya, Iran, Iraq, they get fucking bombed. There's only 3 left: Iran, North Korea, and Cuba, who are framed in the media as the axis of evil, right? Yep. So we're all nation states of these central banks. And all they're doing is pulling money out of their ass and then saying, you give us the principal plus interest back, which is a mathematical impossibility. So we've got to just be educated on, just go to the source and go, look, cunts, fucking, you stop monopolising the creation of money and just fuck off. You're not needed. And fucking Gary Bucks. So
again, Gary Bucks.
And then we can do it in our lifetime, because we don't want to think, oh, it's going to happen. We want it fucking in our lifetime, don't we? We've only got one life. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it now. Vote goat cunts. So look, sorry about the swearing, but fucking, you know, people are getting pretty fucking emotional about this. Fucking, it's a cunt word, C-U-N-T. But I mean, that compared to the reality of what's happening to us politically is pretty fucking minor. So. Fucking cunts, let's fucking do it, vote goat.
Sign us up now, we'll get on board.
Fucking cheers, mate. And what we're going to do, you know how, I mean, let's get to the point here. You know, you can't go around fighting these cops, right? They pop up like gophers, right? You know, it's just fucking, you know, we all know those type of coppers, right? So you can't fight them, and you go to court, and the court won't back you up either, right? They'll just fucking, you know, let you off on a technicality, and, you know, you wasted all your time. And you can't go to the government because they need all these coppers and judges to fucking get all this fucking tax money off us, right? Because they need to pay back the private bankers who they borrow the money off, right? So what we're going to do is vote go, we're just going to get in and go fuck off the private bankers. We're going to create our own money, and it's going to be called Gary Bucks, right? Print your own money. And if anyone thinks, oh, you can't print your own money, quantitative easing has been doing that for the last 8 years, and they haven't created inflation, economic growth, or anything, let alone hyperinflation. So it's a green light for countries to do it, right? And then what we're going to do this radical idea, fellas. Instead of putting the money into bombing the fuck out of other countries' infrastructure, we're going to put it into our own infrastructure. Hey, that's pretty fucking wild, isn't it? That's, you know, buy back our dairy farm, create industries that create free resources. And so our welfare will be fucking free water, food, housing at a minimum, right? So it'll create voluntary unemployment. Then you can work out what you want to do rather than just doing a job you hate and just descend into drugs and mental illness, right? And there'll be no national debt, no taxes, no worries. Vote GOAT.
Vote GOAT. Back to fucking square one.
Fucking oath, mate. And we'll go forward. We've got the technology now to give free local energy, free food, and that's the base. And then you get rid of all this money at a low level. There's no criminal class, is there? And there's none of these fucking knobs, cops and judges and lawyers, who some of them are fucking knobs. They're going to get out and fucking get a real job if they want. And if they don't want one, they can just fucking sit and eat free food in a house, and they'll be fucking more useful than they are now.
But the magistrate threw the case out, saying the person has no control over what it is the goat might eat. He might have preferred an ice cream.
That's the fucking plan, fellas, because we've got to do it in our lifetime, though. We're going to get Gary in. It's not going to be a fucking joke. It's going to be fucking serious. We'll get him in as fucking PM, print some Gary bucks, and he can fucking go and fucking meet the Pope and Trump and whoever the fucking world leaders are and have a good time with them. Dalai Lama, eh? Yeah, fucking Gary and the Dalai Lama would get on fucking well, eh? They'd both go and fucking root some sheep together.
Anyway, I can't start a political party until I get off these criminal charges which have been thrown at me by the cops. So we're going to go up to court, Gary? And I can sort it all out. Not that he gives a fuck. And then hopefully after that we'll be able to get the vote GOAT thing happening in time for the next election. So yeah, it looks like we're going to New South Wales now. Sorry Tassie, but we will get there. And yeah, we'll still be doing videos every day, no matter what the fuck happens to us.
Fucking hurry up, Gary. The pigs are after us again, mate.